What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is the 15th of September. Heading through this month pretty quick here, just about the halfway mark. Guys, taking a look at XRP this morning. Welcome all of the new subscribers. Thanks to all of the current subscribers as well. Hey, a couple days now, market's in the green. If today closes up on the day, that will be the fourth day in the green for XRP. Wow. Who would have thought? Right at a couple levels that we have shared going back a few days. And hey, they are working as they should. And we did hit those levels both to the downside and just today, overnight, to the upside. We will talk about that 50-cent mark. Real quick, let's head over to Bitcoin. Guys, hang in there. We'll jump into XRP just a moment. Going to be a quick video here on this Friday morning. So, hey, we got that major break lower in Bitcoin, but what I want to mention is so far it's turning out to be a shakeout, and then the markets actually flip the switch and move in the other direction. We've seen that multiple times here. Actually, this will be the second time we're seeing that for Bitcoin in the recent weeks. So we have all of this major support here at the 25,760 level, right? And then we have all of our candle wicks here a little lower in the low 25,000s. Well, what took place is we get a major break lower, one below 25,760, two below all of these major candle wicks, right? So the market moves below a major area, or I should say breaks above a major area of resistance. In this case, it was below support. Breaks below that, gets back to this major low, triggers lots of stops, and then what does it do? It actually starts to move in the opposite direction. Markets do that a lot. You'll see that not all breakouts or breakdowns are successful. For example, at least so far, right? For example, we were sitting sideways here for a while, and then we started to get that breakdown. Well, instead of it, essentially this will be a failed break lower. Instead of it going down here to 24,145, which was the level I was calling for, if we started to undercut this low here, it undercut all of these candle wicks here, retested this low here, triggered a bunch of stops below the market at these candle wicks, and then actually is looking like wants to break out. So if you're wondering why markets are moving higher, XRP that is, that's what we're going to get to in just a moment. It's because Bitcoin has bottomed so far and is moving back to the upside. Guys, if these markets do move higher, continue to move higher, it's back into the game of higher levels, 28, 249, 67. That is the next line up here we got to watch. We broke through it in a major way on the 17th of August. We found resistance at it on the 29th of August. And here we are on September 15th, starting to rally a little bit. Nice to see the highs taken out on the 8th of September. So we'll see. Next target up there, 28,249 for Bitcoin. That's to the upside. If markets start to fade lower, we'll be back and we'll reassess. If things pull back, once again, we look for support at 26, 23, 25,760, even 25,726 cluster of levels right here. So over to XRP, guys. XRP up 2% this morning. XRP did pull back, and we so far have found support at two levels, 47,715, 48,108. That's these two levels on the chart that I talked about days, maybe even weeks ago. We started to move lower, but we didn't hit the 45,434 level right here, but we started to get real close on the 11th, September 11th. But we're back above the 48, 108, 47, 715. And then we also moved all the way up overnight to 50624, which was resistance. Lines above act as resistance and or price targets. And then if you flip that, lines below act as targets as markets move lower and should come in as support. So this one went a little further, almost down to there, but it ended up at this cluster here. Let me show you this on a smaller time frame, and then we'll wrap this video up, guys. So if you look down here, we got that original big sell-off. We did find support at the 2 levels originally. Lasted below it, started to head to those other ones, which would have been 45, 434. Didn't quite get there. Ended up pulling back up to our levels here. You can see we whipsawed around it, and then we finally flipped. So far, we flipped 48, 108 into support right here. Started to rally up. But what took place real quick is we have another level above the market, so that should act as a target, and it should act as resistance for a period of time, which it did right here perfectly, and that is at 50624. Markets got pushed away as they should, and then we're starting to move back. So this could easily have only been resistance for a very short period of time, and then throughout today, depending how markets do, we could easily be past that. So let's talk about a couple different things here, guys. All links down in the video description. Appreciate if you use those. It does help support the channel. So if we take, let me try to get rid of this here. If we do break, assuming markets continue higher, we should break above 50624. That'll be pretty major, and that'll take us up into basically 53 or so cents, and then up to 55. We could see a very strong move. If we can get above 50624, we could see a pretty strong move quickly up into the 53, potentially all the way back up to 55 cents. So if you're long, that's great. If you're short, just be careful. We start to break above 50624. This market could really start to move quickly, and you could find yourself up that 53, potentially all the way up to 55 cents very, very quickly. At least in my opinion, guys. That's about a 9.5%, we'll call it, percent move back up to 55 cents. So far, we still have our major low right here, which took place on the 17th of August. Basically had a double bottom, which failed, obviously. And then we have our another major low here, but it is a higher low, and that took place on the 11th of September. So we'll see if markets are done selling off. Time will tell. At least for the past couple days they are, and that candle wicks, just like this candle wick, held for a very long time. It's still holding essentially. We'll see if this one here can hold. We do have a nice cluster of support. We are finding some trouble here at the 50-cent level once again, but once we get above that, I think these markets could really start to move quickly up to that 53 to 55 cents. So no crazy price targets, no crazy crashing price targets below the market. Just keeping it real here, as these markets are only 50 cents. They're less than that. They're 49.848. They're not $50. They're not $5. They're not $500. They're essentially 50 cents, guys. So I'm not saying that when things come, they come quick. As you can see, this is a 73% candle, if I'm correct. Let me see here. That was a nice day, that's for sure, even though it's all gone. 73% candle there on the news. You know, buy the rumor, sell the news. What another great example of that on this day here, the 13th of July. It's about 2 months ago. So, you know, when XRP does move, it can move fast. The rest of the time, it doesn't do much. It goes on these little trends to the downside, goes on some other little trends to the upside, and so on. But we did see XRP go from 17 cents up to essentially $2. That's roughly like 1,000% move pretty quickly on the last major sell-off. So what would that look like? Let's say XRP has bottomed and it goes on to make a 1,000% move. Let's call it from the low back here on the 17th of August, I believe it was. If we go on to move 1,000%, I'm going to have to really move this chart here. Let's see if we can get it this time. Guys, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, let me know down in the comments. Welcome yourself, introduce yourself. Let's see here. It's probably going to put us up to that $5 to $6 range. 1,000% move for XRP. 17 cents to basically $2. Let's see here. Where are we at? 13. Yep, we're up there to about 475. 477 if XRP goes on to make it 1,000% move from the lows of there in August. Hey, it's very possible in a bull run, a $4.5 XRP. It oddly enough lines right up with one of our levels, 475. Could easily be hit in a bull run. Markets will not get up there without some kind of insane use case, some insane news, or in a bull run. Otherwise, this thing will stay in the dollar, if not below the dollar range, as markets are in the gutters. It's funny. I got a comment on one of my videos recently. I guess it was probably the last XRP video a couple days ago. XRP is going to zero, something along those lines. I don't even know. Guys, when markets aren't doing well and you're a bull, right? Markets aren't doing well and you're short, whatever, life's good and you're making money. If you're long and you're holding, and you know maybe you're even down on your position, or all your gains are slowly deteriorating, whatever. The news is usually at its worst right at the bottom. Sometimes the bottom's already in and the news is still getting worse. It's close. I'm not saying we bottomed in the crypto market, but in the past days to week and a half, I've seen some of the most negative news across YouTube, across Twitter. I've heard people talking about it. So for what that's worth, I'm not saying the bottom's in. It's the same thing in the stock market. Right around the stock market bottoms, people are saying the market's going zero, the country's going to shit, blah, 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 this, that, the other thing. I think I'm going to sell. I'm going to pull out my retirement, whatever. Oh, I'm going to sell my XRP bag because, it's never going to go back up. It's heading to zero. Hey, I'm not saying the bottom's in, but you get to a point with markets over time. Usually it just takes time, years, to you start to see the other side of the market. And when you start to hear people talking like that, crazy news articles, crazy news headlines, basically fear. People are willing to do irrational things with things they normally wouldn't do. That's usually at one extreme or the other. A top of the market, which is a little less, or a bottom. That's usually when it happens. Guys, Current resistance for XRP, 50624. Keep an eye on it. If you start to break above that, 55 cents could be happening very soon. If markets move lower, keep your eye on 48, 108, 47, 715. If that fails, 45, 434, 44, 502. That will keep all here and here. That's basically where the market's at right now. If we start to get above 55, 56 cents, things start to get exciting. I would expect 60 to 63 cents very quickly. If these levels don't hold, if we're down at 44,502 and this market doesn't hold, we're heading down here, which is 41 cents, which I've talked about in previous videos. That is our last line in the sand to the downside. And it has held for a long time now. So keep that in mind. Guys, if you are not yet subscribed, a huge percentage of viewers on the channel are not yet subscribed. Guys, join us here. Have a great Friday. I'll catch you in the next one.